Okay, so to begin with, we're going to learn it in the key of G major. That's because it's the easiest key of the major pentatonic scale to play, simply because it's closest to the head of the guitar and you only really use your index and middle fingers, so you're not really using the tricky fingers of the third and the fourth. Okay, you're going to start by putting your middle finger on the third fret of the low E string, then you go to the open A string, then using your first finger, you go to the second fret of the A string, then you go to the open D string, and then with your first finger, you go to the second fret of the D string, then you go to the open G string, then using your first finger, you play the second fret of the G string, then you go to the open B string, then using your middle finger, you play the third fret of the B, and then you play the open high E string, and then using your middle finger, you play the third fret of the high E. So what you have there is let me play that for you again. So there you go, that is how to play the G major pentatonic scale. But what if we learn in other keys? Well, it's a slightly different shape in the sense that you're going to be doing stuff like this. And there's not as much open strings, but I'll teach you that now. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is put your fourth finger on the fifth fret of the low E string. Then you put your first finger on the second fret of the A string. Then you put your third finger on the fourth fret of the A string. Then you put your first finger on the second fret of the D string. Then you put your third finger on the fourth fret of the D string. Then you put your first finger on the second fret of the G string. Then you put your third finger on the fourth fret of the G string. Then you put your first finger on the second fret of the B string. Then you put your fourth finger on the fifth fret of the B string. Then you put your first finger on the second fret of the high E string. Then you put your fourth finger on the fifth fret of the high E string. So what you have there is this. Let me play that again. Great. So one thing to mention is before I end the video is in the description I'm going to link some backing tracks, and next to in brackets I'm going to tell you where the root note is. So for example, if it's a G major backing track, I'll tell you that the root note is on the third fret of the low E string. If it's a C major backing track, I'll tell you that the root note is on the 8th fret of the low E string. So then you can just do the same patterns and also jam along to some cool tracks and get your solos going really nicely. See you in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Many thanks for watching.